The action of the president in terms of reappointing Emefiele as CBN Governor after the controversies of 500 billion, it has some suspicions. But Emefiele himself, no organization has proved that he was culpable, that the money actually missed. Just until it is confirmed that the money actually missed, that's when we'll be able to conclude that Emefiele embezzles money. And if that is the case, that means our suspicion that was why the government of the day reappointed him is true. So the suspicion is still there, and people have some reasons to suspect as human beings, because if we were not clear about the 500 billion, we have greater propensity to suspect that was what has led to him being reappointed as CBN governor. But he is still innocent until governmental agencies that are involved in investigation of financial crimes come up with evidences that it happened, which we are highly skeptical about, because the government of the day controls the governmental agencies that are involved in investigating financial crimes. So the possibility of getting to the root of the matter is very dicey. That is the situation now. And be that as it may, the onus is on the government of the day to be able to let us know exactly what happened with the CBN and 500 billion. So we as the masses, we are obliged to suspect that this is what led to reappointment of Emefiele, and we will stick to that until we are given a real evidence that this thing didn't happen. So we are still on that suspicion, and the suspicion stands, because if somebody has been accused of 500 billion, he is not the one to use the money. Remember, election came and gone, and it has not been long the election came and gone, and a lot of financial transactions took place during and after the election. So we as the suspect, and the CBN governor cannot embezzle that money without the knowledge of the government of the day.
The beauty of it is that we Nigeria is that we are negative in nature. We always believe in negative news. If I tell you that now that the Senate president did something good, all of us will be thinking about it, whether it is true or not. But if I say Senate president swallow 500 trillion naira, we will automatically believe it, whereby in an economy it's not as easy for somebody to embezzle 500 billion naira. So if you are coming out with allegation, you have to substantiate it. So the president perceived that the CBN governor, that is Godwin Emefiele, for more than 4 years, he has been able to put a lot of things on board, and the final felt that there is need for stability and continuity, so that his liquidity program and a lot of things need to sustain. I think that is the best thing the government needs to do, and to encourage, what is it called, fairness, irrespective of tribalisms or other sector that determines who will become a CBN governor.
And giving a second time to the CBN governor, I just believe that it is based on his performance, that he has performed creditably, and the president decided to give him a second chance.
So right now, I think he should be prosecuted if he's found guilty of being bringing fraud. You know, you can't just lose money and go scot-free and be given another chance to just, run the government again. So it's not, doesn't make sense, absurd. So
on the president's view, he has not been found guilty. So it's an allegation, and he does not have a record of that kind of practices. When he was in Zenith, he had a transparent record. So because the kind of issue we have in Nigeria here, and there will be tendency that people might want to stain him or make him so. But he said that so far so good, that the record was not balanced, and they're looking at it. I think that was what his response.
Here in Nigeria, if an appropriate court has not proven him guilty, he's still not guilty. If he has committed, maybe a kind of being sentenced or pronounced guilty. But for now, I mean, it is only the court that can say he committed the crime. Nobody knows if it is a setup. That's to me, right? But then, if actually he committed the crime, the crime. He's not worthy to be the CBN governor.
I don't think President Buhari should give him another chance to rule. That is fraud, and definitely they have to quick him out of the system, so they should put another person there.
Something like that, and if you talk about, I think the president, before he appoints someone or appointed someone, you always look about that person very well on the reason. What I know there is that there is some hidden things there, which a lot of people don't even understand about that. A lot of hidden things that is there. Maybe when they replace it with another person now again, a lot of secrets will be linked. So maybe that's the reason why they decided to still want to use him back again.
Whereas a Nigerian is not particularly to an administration that is campaigning against corruption, for me, I think is uncalled for. How could somebody be alleged to have misappropriated that huge amount of money, and then such an administration is giving that person an opportunity to serve for the second time? Then where is the corruption we are fighting? Except that the corruption is targeted at some perceived enemies in politics. And for me, I don't think this administration is really serious about fighting corruption. We see some politicians who have been indicted with corruption issues and all that, and at the end of the day, crossing from their other political party to APC and all that, we see them being cleared. Some of their assets have been seized before have been restored and all of that. So the fight against corruption is not a genuine fight, and that's my stand.
Well, Buhari, some people who doesn't know him from 1984 misquoted him. The corruption he fought, he promised Nigeria to fight. I am very safe when he was coming 2014. I canvassed for him because of 1984, he piloted affairs with Idagbo. But it's unfortunate that Idagbo is no longer in flesh. He's the man who piloted the affairs, but Buhari takes the honor. In terms of the corruption, Buhari promised Nigeria that is fighting does not have human face, because I see it as a selective fight. I get my point. So, but we normally say that he who must approach equity must do so with clean hand.